In this video, we're going to be looking at what size of figure actually fits within this Redcat Gen 9 to help us fill this interior out. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not normally the dollhouse kind of guy, so I've had to raid my son's toy bin to look at some different figures that he has to try to figure out what does this. I actually, on purpose, normally avoid open vehicles like this with scale interiors because I don't want to have to deal with this. I much prefer something super lightweight in there, maybe no roll cage and stuff like that, because I'd rather have the performance over the looks. But I have a Redcat Gen 9 and you're kind of in between a rock and a hard place. If you drive it around with nothing in there, it looks a little silly because it's like a ghost truck driving around with no driver. If you put a driver in there, then it kind of looks like you're playing with dollhouse stuff. So it's kind of a rock and a hard place. I'm going to jump in and figure out at first what size of person thing fits in here. And then we're going to go into how to get it installed and what it looks like and kind of make a choice as to what we're going to do here. I snagged various sizes of things from my son. So this person's about 4 inches tall. This one's a little bit 3.5. I've got the Mandalorian here at 5. I've got Ant-Man at 5.5. And then this is Halo, if I remember correctly, at probably something like 6.5. Just standing next to the truck, you can see that is probably not going to work. And if we put this person in here, that looks silly. What is it? They're driving their dad's truck, right? Something like that. So these smaller figures, I don't think are going to work. Maybe even getting in here with the Mandalorian, that's still looking pretty dang small. Ant-Man doesn't actually bend. I'd have to something like cut Ant-Man in half, but he's getting closer. That's definitely closer. I'm guessing that something like this Halo figure, 6.5 tall, that would actually be getting pretty dang close to ideal probably for what we would be looking at. So if you find a 6.5 inch tall action figure, you can cut them up. I think we'd have to, it doesn't, hips don't bend great here, so we'd end up having to really hack this person up pretty hardcore, I think, in order to get it in there. But I'm looking at, maybe cut it off at the knees, and I think that would fit in there pretty good. Problem is my son just got this guy, so I think he might be kind of sad. He doesn't know that I'm messing with him. I think he might be kind of sad if I cut him up. So I don't think we're going to be able to use him. I'm going to need to get more creative. Many hours later on the 3D printer, and look what we've got here. This is going to be much better, I think. So it is a oversized Lego figure person, white body printed out, yellow for the tops and heads. Of course, roadside RC shirt that he's wearing. And when you put him in here, he is slightly oversized, which I feel is appropriate. And look at that. That's actually kind of fun, right? That actually makes me giggle a little bit. This one here is actually from Maximum RPM RC. So shout out to his YouTube channel. He sent me this a while back and I was kind of like, man, it's cool, but what am I going to do with it? Well, if Lego dude's driving, wavy good luck cat has got to be in the passenger seat. And then while I was out there, I kind of started messing around and I found handy dandy snap-on toolbox that should go right here in the back of the truck without any kind of issue, along with an RC truck and its controller, so that way my Lego person has an RC truck for when he stops driving his truck. Now, I think if I'm going to be doing some dollhouse stuff, I think this is kind of where I'm at with it. So I think that's pretty fun. So we're going to get these mounted up now. And I don't know 100% how I'm going to do that. I think on some of these, maybe a big old glob of hot glue will hold that cat down very nicely. I don't want them to just sit there because I've been around too many people that when they do that, their stuff falls out. So I'd rather not it just sit there. But I do believe maybe for some of these back here in this flat spot, maybe I can drill a hole through the bottom and actually just sink a screw into them, hold them there permanently, or again, the hot glue should work. Mr. Lego person here, I'm not 100% sure on. I think I might still need to sand his arm down a little bit in order to get him to fit in here just as I want. And then maybe a screw through the back of the seat, or I don't know, something like that, and we'll get figured out how to get him really situated in there. For the back here, I was able to drill through the body, drill back up through into the toolbox and into the truck, and then just have a screw come through from the bottom in there. Now these things are very tight. They're not going anywhere. Because the controller was smaller, I did end up just dabbing some hot glue on the back of it and sticking it down. And they're not going anywhere, which is absolutely awesome. Now I'm going to turn my attention to my figures up here for the front. The good news is these seats actually do come out rather easily from the body with just 2 screws on the bottom. I'm then able to actually just, again, drill and screw right into this cat figure. Sits on here beautifully. I can just plop the seat back in, screw it in. Makes life really easy that way. Hey, look at that. It's in there. It's done. They're all attached. For Big Boy here, I ran a screw through the very bottom of the seat, way down there where you can't see it, and put some hot glue behind him all at the same time to help him be very stable. Look, we can turn his head so that he's smiling at you. I love it. This is awesome. We got the toolbox with the RCs in the back. I mean, yeah, that if I'm gonna do dollhouse stuff, that's how I'm gonna do it. That is there. Nothing too serious, just all for fun. That's what we're into this whole thing for anyway, is for fun. So now that I have put people in here and I put lights in here and I've done all this stuff for kind of the aesthetics, we got all the stickers on it. I mean, this is hardly recognizable as the 800A Scout that it came from, that it came as out of the box. So I'm very excited that we have been able to make these changes. But now we need to get into some of the performance changes. So be on the lookout over here in the Gen 9 playlist. We're going to be adding some weight. We're going to be adding some underdrive or overdrive gears. I think we're going to go brushless also. So we're going to really do now shift gears and really focus in on the performance. So thank you for watching. And if you're interested in that, stay tuned to this playlist. More is coming. Thank you and goodbye.